Beyond the senses, exploring clairaudience. Welcome back to the Peony path. In today's video, we're continuing our journey into the individual clairs with clairaudience. The term comes from the French words clair, meaning clear, and audience, meaning hearing, which translates to clear hearing. It refers to the ability to perceive sounds, words, or messages that aren't audible to the physical ears. These can include voices, music, or even subtle vibrations, all of which may provide insight or guidance. Clairaudience has been recognized in spiritual traditions across time. In Christianity, saints and mystics reported hearing the voice of God or angels, often as guidance for their missions. Joan of Arc, for instance, claimed to hear divine voices that inspired her actions. Indigenous cultures worldwide often describe hearing spirit voices during rituals or through nature, like the rustling of leaves carrying ancestral messages. These examples show how clairaudience has been honored as a way to connect with higher realms or spiritual truths throughout history. Psychology and neuroscience offer some explanations on how this ability might work. Suggesting inner voice and subconscious communication are our brains processing internal dialogue, which can feel like hearing another voice. Clairaudience might be linked to heightened access to this inner process, allowing intuitive messages to come through in the form of sound or words. Some theorize that clairaudient individuals might be more attuned to subtle frequencies or energy shifts, translating these into auditory impressions. States of meditation or relaxation often produce theta brainwaves, which are associated with intuition and heightened awareness. Many clairaudient experiences happen in this state, where the subconscious mind is more accessible. Let's explore more on clairaudience and spiritual traditions. The Bible contains numerous references to hearing divine messages. Prophets like Samuel and Moses are described as hearing God's voice, which guided their actions and strengthened their faith. In the New Testament, the angel Gabriel speaks to Mary, delivering the message of Jesus' birth. In John 10:27, Jesus says, "My sheep hear my voice," reflecting the idea of spiritual discernment through divine hearing. While certain passages caution against practices like divination, these examples show that hearing divine or spiritual messages is seen as a gift meant to guide and uplift. Clairaudience manifests uniquely across cultures. In African spiritual traditions, rhythmic drumming and chanting are said to carry messages from ancestors or spirits. Native American shamans often describe hearing voices of nature or spirit guides, providing wisdom for the community. In Eastern traditions, the repetition of mantras and sacred sounds is believed to attune practitioners to divine frequencies, opening channels for spiritual hearing. These diverse expressions highlight clairaudience as a universal human experience, rooted in culture and spirituality. Some of the world's greatest composers and writers have described moments of auditory inspiration. Beethoven, despite his deafness, claimed to hear his compositions in his mind, as if guided by an unseen source. Many writers have attributed their work to voices or words that seem to flow through them effortlessly, as though dictated by a higher consciousness. These experiences suggest that clairaudience might play a role in creative expression, acting as a channel for inspiration and insight. Recognizing you may be clairaudient. Have you ever heard your name called when no one else is around? Or perhaps, during a stressful moment, you've received a comforting or guiding phrase, like, "It's going to be okay," seemingly out of nowhere. These are subtle signs of clairaudience where messages come through sound, even when there's no physical source. Another form of clairaudience is hearing the subtle tone or vibration of a room or situation, as though the emotional or energetic frequency of the space is being conveyed through sound. You might perceive this as an inner hum or ringing that signals whether the environment feels light and welcoming, tense, or something else entirely. It's an intuitive auditory experience that allows you to pick up on the energy of the space without anyone saying a word. You may also find that certain songs play in your head or on the radio, with lyrics that stand out and hold special meaning for you. These melodies often appear when you're seeking guidance, offering clarity or insight just when you need it most. Ever woken up with a random song looping in your mind? That song could be a solution to a problem, with hidden meaning in the lyrics. And sometimes you might hear a song associated with a loved one who has passed, just as you're thinking of them. A gentle reminder that they're still with you, communicating through the power of sound. Strengthening clairaudient abilities. Developing clairaudience involves becoming more attuned to subtle sounds and messages. Focus on sounds in your environment or listen to high-frequency tones. This helps train your awareness of subtle auditory impressions. Mantra practice. Repeating a sacred phrase or word can open channels for receiving intuitive messages. Quiet reflection. Spend time in silence to allow space for inner guidance to emerge. Journaling afterward can help capture any insights. Listening exercises. Pay attention to everyday sounds, such as birdsong or distant traffic. Practice discerning layers of sound to sharpen your auditory perception. With regular practice, you can strengthen your ability to hear intuitive messages. Clearing up misconceptions about clairaudience. Let's dispel some common myths about clairaudience. Myth 1. Clairaudience is only for psychics. Truth. Clairaudience is a natural ability anyone can develop, much like learning to appreciate music or sound. Myth 2. It's always loud or obvious. Truth. Clairaudient messages are often subtle, like a whisper or a phrase that pops into your mind. Myth 3. It only involves hearing words. Truth. Clairaudience can include music, tones, or even vibrations that carry meaning. Clairaudience is a beautiful, multifaceted ability that invites us to tune into the whispers of the unseen. Reflect on moments when you've heard a guiding word, phrase, or sound. These could be glimpses of your own clairaudient potential. Subscribe to the Peony Path to continue this journey with us toward greater awareness and understanding.